Hi, it's Pharmacists Out the Box, and I'm Heather.
And I'm Bryn. So we are so excited. We just got back from a retreat that was local to us. We highly encourage you all to find one local to you.
It was
Our friend
amazing.
Liz, yes, it was amazing. Liz and Layla, they did it. And it was just like an 8 to 5 kind of thing. There was some lunch. There was a couple sessions of yoga, some excellent music, super relaxing. And it just helped us kind of find more clarity. I mean, to be honest, I was kind of looking for more like a recipe, and then life was like, no, it's not like that. So I was hoping Heather would start us off with maybe sharing what inspiration or what things she learned the most from the retreat.
Yeah, yeah. I would just say that I was inspired by how many different kinds of people were there. So if you think you're one of those people that like, oh, I'm just not a retreat person, I'm not a yoga person, there were people there who had never done yoga before. And there were people who were just in shorts. And I mean, it was such a diverse group of young women up to like older women. There were men there. There were people from different walks of life that had different careers. But was really interesting is we all were there to find a little more clarity in our lives. And so that was to me very encouraging that, I'm not the only one struggling to just figure stuff out. It does kind of seem to be a theme for everybody is everybody's just trying to figure their stuff out.
Yes.
And so, that's definitely what I think I was looking for. Yeah.
And it was nice. There's really no like wrong way to do yoga. You gave
Mm-mm.
yourself permission to think differently, to move in different ways. It was interesting to hear everybody's maybe perspective on what they enjoyed doing. And then you wonder why that's not in your life more, whether
Mhm.
it's like roller skating, finger painting, all these things we enjoyed doing when we were young. And so that's kind of like interesting to be like, oh yeah, we do need to tap into things that brought us joy and add that into our life as well.
Yeah.
I know for me, there was like a lot of maybe like intentionality or gratitude that occurred. Like, for example, driving to work, face a lot of traffic and just seeing people and being able to let them in and let them in with a smile. You don't know that person or what they're going through that morning, but just realizing every little interaction you have throughout the day can make a difference in someone's life. And I mean, I've always kind of felt that way, but it's good to have that reminder and to think of ways that you can show up in your life and be real and connect to others. Another thing, I guess, would just be, looking at struggling opportunities, whether I'm like trying to heal from my accident, whether I'm trying to heal past trauma, like that's a gift. And so that hasn't always been viewed that way. Usually I have some frustration or some anger towards my challenges and wishing things could be differently, but to kind of view that in a new light as like, this is actually a gift, and realizing everybody has trauma or challenges and we're all here to help each other grow and learn from it. So that was pretty empowering. And let's see, I guess just the community. Like you said, there were 25 people there. It was just a beautiful thing, seeing people intentionally coming together to grow and to live life more purposefully. And so that was a really beautiful thing to experience.
Yeah. And I think along those lines of like the kid and like enjoying those things you enjoy, nobody, if we're put on here for a purpose and we're all looking for our purpose, then we'll never find it if we're not being the person that we're gifted with being. You're talking about everything's a gift. Our life is a gift. We're
Mm,
these spirits and these bodies that are gifted with being this person in this place
mm,
to experience whatever it is I'm going to experience with in life. And sometimes that's going to be great things and sometimes it's going to be really challenging things, but I'm in for the long haul. Like, it's like, give me whatever's going to happen to Heather because I can't wait for my life to unfold. But you can't do that if you don't become this true person that you are. Because, if you have a purpose, then you need to fulfill that. And the only way you can
right.
fulfill it is by 100% of who you are, and not compare yourself to, well, I'm not like that person or I'm not like that person. And stop trying to be what everybody else, you think everybody else is, and you need to be like them, or maybe trying to be what everybody thinks you need to be, or you
Mm,
think everybody's expecting you to be. Like, just be yourself. And that's the best thing you can do, because God gifted you with yourself. And so just
Yeah.
figure out who that is and enjoy it. But yeah, like one of the statements that she said, you were talking about your life and the challenges happening to you. I love the statement that she talked about, Layla talked about, that, you know, if you have the perspective that life is happening for you, not happening to you, because I think we can all get stuck in that, oh, life is happening to me, you know, woe is me. I had this car accident. Why did that happen to me? My employees are unhappy. Why is this happening to me? Like, it's just happening around you. But when you change your perspective of life, like, okay, this, what's going on around me is happening for me. What is this teaching me? What is this a blessing of? Like you talked about your accident, in a way, that could be a blessing. It could have been a lot worse. It could have been something that maybe you needed in your life to say, you know, be more mindful when you come up to a red light, or I don't know, maybe it was some message that, you know, was just a little nudge there for you. And it was a blessing that, you know, who knows how, why, or what's going to come out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe you just needed time to take care of yourself, and permission and patience to just kind of take time. But that was pretty interesting. I like that part.
Yes, definitely. A lot of good insights from the teachers that were there and just the other students. And I was very encouraged to see other healthcare providers in different settings. And we get to chat in between some of like the downtime, and to see their deep care for patients, and that, you know, they were struggling, stepping out and standing up to either administrators or doing what is right for the patient and their family. And you may not always have, you know, the funding for those hours, but yet they're like, this is the right thing to do, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to this meeting, and I'm going to speak up, and just to encourage them, be like, thank you for doing that, and awesome job. And you could tell like it meant a lot that somebody appreciated the efforts they were going through to change healthcare. And so it was just amazing, like meeting other women and men that were out there changing healthcare. And so I just love that part.
Yeah. And they were being honest to themselves and to their value set. And that's the big key thing that Heather got out of the meeting. Was I was kind of coming into there wanting more clarity for what my next steps are. I'm still feel like I've been shifting. I've been shifting for like a year, and I still am fumbling with where I'm going. And I felt like I've been open to it and ready to receive like whatever it is that God used me for. But I was not feeling like I was getting the answer. And that's what hit me in the gut. There was just, I got this huge message that I need to be honest with myself and stop trying to fit everything that I feel like I'm supposed to be into these boxes. Because as long as I keep trying to fit myself into these boxes I have and parameters I have, then I might not ever be open to what the next thing is for me, because I'm kind of clinging over here to these boxes. And until I like let go of those expectations for myself and just let myself be open, really open, and let go, that's the only way I'm going to be able to receive anything, is by letting go. And that was like a kick in the stomach for me. So that's got my mind really thinking of being honest with myself and being true to myself.
And very much surrendering to whatever happens. And so we had some musicians that came in, and they had beautiful singing. They played this like mini piano accordion thing.
It was gorgeous. It was so awesome.
We learned all these new words, but one of them that really resonated with me is Govinda. And it means like one that captivates all our senses. And to me, like, I'm like, that is like the best like birthday wish or best like greeting. Like, I hope that our lives and our listeners' lives are just so full of wonderful things that it's just captivating all of their senses. And so living life to its fullest, that you're actually captivating everything, like sight, hearing, smell, tasting, feeling. Like, I was just like, yes, that is such a beautiful phrase and a beautiful thing to create intention around or sing about. And so I just really love that part of it. So we'll try and link. I believe I've got the musicians, some music that they've put out there that we can possibly link, so you can kind of hear it.
It was beautiful, and it was a very interactive. It was something we participated in, but you didn't feel funny. Like in the beginning, you may have felt, I know I felt kind of like, oh my gosh, like, am I saying the words right? Because it was Sanskrit. I don't know Sanskrit. Like, I think I know what she said we were saying, but then you just get into it. And when you're all, it was like so much energy that we were all singing it together. And it was just such a
Yes.
great energy that you forgot about being nervous, or it was just amazing. And you talked about like the senses. I like that we had like a little bit of time to kind of, to experience the beauty of where we were and to use our senses, because we went out and had time to walk around by ourselves or go visit with other people from the group. And I liked walking around and just looking at all the flowers and listening to the birds and listening to the water trickle, because there was water, lots of water. So yeah, it was a great experience for all our senses.
Yeah, that was another thing they really encouraged us to do, is in our environment, like really be intentional about what you're creating in your environment. So I even thought about like, I need to maybe hang some artwork in my workspace or have some sort of calming music, or actually just, what are you doing with your time? Are you getting up and scrolling through Facebook or Instagram? Like, what are you feeding your mind from TV to music to the people you're around? Because that creates and impacts who you are. And so it was like this like light bulb moment, like, yes, what are we doing intentionally to help not only ourselves succeed, but maybe the ones we're leading or people in our family? How are we creating a loving, stimulating, wonderful environment that helps us all achieve a better life?
Mm-hmm. And I think we all want to be the best person we can be. I think we all want to be good people, and we all want to be our best. And, you know, she talked about, what are you exposing yourself to? Like, if you're just exposing yourself to a bunch of negativity, what are you watching on TV, all the way down to what are you eating? Like,
I forgot about that.
Exposing yourself physically to, health wise? Because if you're all foggy headed because of the crap you're eating, or you're not going to be your best you. You're not going to be able to impact the people around you as much as you could if you were watching and being just mindful of what you were exposing yourself to in every facet of your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I know some of our listeners can't make it to a retreat. So some of the things that you could do on your own is, you know, pick up a journal and write down things that bring you bliss, like complete bliss. And yes, fill it out. What are those things looking like? And start to add those into your life. Creating a daily ritual. Maybe it's 10 minutes of meditation. What is that one thing you're going to do? Maybe it's just reading an index card and an affirmation, and that's going to change your life. Like, just, I mean, it's never too late to start. And just one little thing can just really impact your life. So really, whether it's journaling, whether it's doing something fun that brings you joy, whether it's reaching out to somebody else and building a connection, like, just really find what is going to positively impact your life in your environment.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just giving yourself more grace and more acceptance, and maybe you go try out an exercise class, or I don't know. So what other things would you say actionable that you could share with our listeners from the retreat?
I think it was really cool that we sat and we just it didn't even take that long, but we just took a minute and we all thought of, what are the things that maybe even as a child you really enjoy doing that maybe somebody told you you should stop doing because of whatever reason. That you know, she talked about how when we're children and we're born, we're just free. You know, if we think laughing really loud feels good, we just laugh really loud. And if we want to bang on a pot, we just bang on a pot, man, that's the best thing ever. And then somebody comes along and tells us, stop laughing so loud, or, you know, stop playing with that. Playing with the pot is stupid. But anyway, that, you know, we grow up all of a sudden then hardened into these boxes and rules. And so it was really cool, I thought, to just sit and think, when I was younger, you know, what did I like to do? What did I think was really fun that maybe I just wouldn't even do right now, that would be silly? You know, and some people said things like they just like to walk in nature, or they like to, one girl said jump on a trampoline, or I like to paint. One of the things I wrote down was I like to paint, and I don't paint near as much as I really want to, because I think I could be doing something more useful with my time, or I really, you know, need to do something for other people. And so I kind of talk myself out of it. But that's something I wish I did more of, was paint. But I think that's a good exercise, is to like be honest with yourself and find things that make you free. Find things that make you blissful,
Yeah.
like you're talking about. What brings you bliss? So I think
And
that's
then,
an actionable thing.
yeah, no, the other thing I thought would be really good for our listeners and for us is really focus on who are you and why are you here? Like that's a question we don't really take time to consider. We just run through our routine every day, like da 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 da, people here, work there, kids there, and it just gets routine. But you need to be intentional. We have one life to live here right now. You're here for a purpose. Why are you here and who are you? And start living it.
You had mentioned before that sounds great, and I know a lot of you are rolling your eyes and say, yeah, that sounds amazing. But I go to work and the phone's ringing off the hook, and my employees are crazy, and I hate my boss and whatever, and my life sucks. And you mentioned, I think that like you come home and your 4-year-old, he's 4-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, woo! Like you think you've got it all together,
Wiggling all around.
Yeah. So I think it's hard. It's not always easy to it's not like we're all these together people. That's the one thing like I noticed about Layla. She was very free and like forgiving of yourself, that you're not perfect. You don't have to be perfect. Give yourself a break kind of thing.
Yes.
And tomorrow, every moment's a new moment to just try again.
Yes.
Yeah, don't give up.
Well, I think I hear him calling me right now.
Oh, okay. I guess it's time.
But we really appreciate you guys tuning in, and we just appreciate you letting us share our experience. We hope to bring you a retreat soon. We've got lots of ideas.
I can't wait. I think we're going to have an awesome retreat. Bryn and I are working together. We think we're going to really have a great retreat for everybody. There was such a huge pull to that one. And a lot of our friends have come up and said, oh my gosh, tell me next time you go. So we're really excited to kind of bring more people together.
I know.
Yeah.
It feels very right too. It's just, I don't know. I'm like, we've already got very full plates, but it would be amazing. So I think
if you guys think a retreat would be awesome, we can definitely do so many amazing things with the retreat. Let us know. Please send us a comment and let us know if you think that's a great idea. So we'd love the support to see if what we're thinking is a good idea. Anyway, she needs to get to her little one. And so I need to go to bed because I got to get up at 5 o'clock to go to yoga.
I know. It's going to be here before we know it.
I know.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm Bryn.
I'm Heather, Pharmacists and People Out of the Box.
Yes. Please subscribe.
Please subscribe. See you next time.
Bye.